A retired CIA operative, John Creasy, is hired as a bodyguard for a young girl named Lupita Peter Ramos in Mexico City. Peter is vibrant, inquisitive, full of life, and determined to succeed as a swimmer, even though she believes she has a bad flinch. Creasy, on the other hand, is a broken man, struggling with the effects of his past, but gradually finds himself drawn to Peter and her infectious energy. He starts training her for her upcoming competition in ways that he understands, telling her that the gunshot has no power over her and to learn to listen for the sound, instead of reacting to what it might mean. As he does this and he gets to know Peter, she asks him if he has a girlfriend, if he likes school, and what happened to his hand, questions that hint at a deeper sense of things beyond her years. Creasy is slowly awakening from his past, and through Peter, he begins to feel a hope for the future. One day at school, Peter is kidnapped in a meticulously planned attack. Creasy, having skipped ahead, arrives on the scene to find no sign of Peter, and it becomes obvious that this was no random act, and that it had been planned carefully. He vows that he will track down the people responsible and makes a promise to those involved that, "What I do is what I am." Okay, the scene opens with Creasy, still reeling from his near-fatal encounter and his grief over Peter's death. He's a changed man, his resolve is hardened, and his approach is now calculated and merciless. He sits on a park bench, watching the world move around him with a focused intensity that is both unsettling and intriguing. He starts seeing patterns, and those patterns lead him to what he needs. There's a tense calm to him that shows he's planning his next move. Creasy encounters the journalist, Mariana, who has been digging into the details of the conspiracy that took Peter from him. She offers Creasy a photo and a name, and he starts to see who he must kill, that his old friend has been lying to him. Creasy must first take a detour, and his fury reaches a fever pitch. At the heart of it all, there's a conspiracy that goes deeper than first expected. There's corruption, power, and ruthless leaders who pull the strings. So with no other path, he decides that those who took his friend will find out what revenge truly feels like. This sets the stage for his violent, targeted strikes against those involved in the kidnapping of Peter, and the hunt for the shadowy La Hermandad who have no idea who is coming for them. As the action unfolds, we're not just seeing a revenge story, but a man's descent into calculated rage, a transformation that pushes the boundaries of morality and raises questions about how far one will go for retribution. The police force are caught in the middle, unable to stop this hurricane that's been brewing. As the episode continues, we find Rayburn confronting the captured Samuel, demanding answers to the whereabouts of the missing money, $10 million, and what happened after their initial setup. He interrogates a recovering and clearly distraught Samuel, who reveals that the actual take was $5 million, the other part having been stolen by Jordan Kalfas, the man now revealed to be the key middleman in the ongoing investigation into the corrupt police network. Samuel then hands over an ATM card linked to his wife and details its PIN code, 4747, and a statement from Kalfas Bank showing an account for 2.5 M. He's distraught and gives all this information with the plea, a life for a life. He also explains the intricate setup that his group had, how they set up the meet, and how the kidnappers had used cholera shots as an alibi, and how Rihanna had given Peter the okay to live again. Samuel's confession confirms their suspicions, and it is now that the group decides to go after the man once referred to only as the Voice, which they now know is Kalfas. They move fast and furious to get to him, while still trying to find out where Lupita is. We see Lisa again at home, distraught, unable to reconcile all that is going on with the information at hand, but knowing she has to step in and do the right thing. We switch between Lisa and Rayburn, who are working together, but separately to get to Kalfas first. Rayburn races across town and pulls a massive car chase and shootout with some of Kalfas' men. Lisa uses all she has gathered to locate Kalfas' safe house and enters it guns blazing, taking out 2 of the guards there. She's stopped by Rayburn and realizes it was a trap to draw her in as she continues to question her husband's death. Rayburn leaves Lisa there and confronts a recovering Kalfas, who reveals that it was all a setup, that Samuel had all the information, and that he's the one behind the voice, and explains that Lisa had been right about. He just had to play it right, explaining it away by saying he was a businessman, you know. Lisa's rage is palpable, but before she can do anything, Rayburn sends her away. As Calphus goes off on a tirade about how business is business and how Peter is dead, Rayburn walks into the scene and fires a shot directly at Calphus, and then the scene cuts. In the aftermath, as they search the house for Lupita, it is revealed the card that Samuel had was linked to an account that contained $2.5 million, confirming Calphus had taken $7.5 million for himself or some other unknown party. It was then the scene goes to Rayburn and Lupita, and then she gets a moment with her mother and father. But the true nature of the scene is shown when a grieving and remorseful Rayburn tells her he is going away to a place where his sins cannot find him. It's in this scene we learn that the entire reason everything had happened in the video is because of the actions of Lupita's father and how he's the one behind everything that happened to them. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.